What's going on? This is Alex with Metasophicles Gaming, bringing you 3 more collector booster packs for the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set. Very cool set, very awesome. We've pulled some really cool looking cards in this set. Some of the full art cards like the Balrog Durin's Bane is really cool looking. It's probably one of my favorite arts that I've seen. We've pulled some, a lot of Delighted Halflings at this point, which are a really good card. A handful of the Realms and Relics cards, a couple good ones, couple that are okay. So let's see what we can pull out of these 3 packs and see if we can make this the best Lord of the Rings collector opening we've had so far. So let's go ahead and see what we can pull and get into the opening. Alright, pack number 1. Alright, so we start with Galadriel of Lothlorien in the regular framing foil, which is nice. Does not look quite as nice as that full art one, but still a good card. We get a Moria Marauder. Subjugate the Hobbits. 7 mana, gain control of each non-commander creature with a mana value of 3 or less.
Get off the road! Quick!
Another Nazgul. We haven't seen one of these in a while, but it's definitely a good card. Always happy to pull that. Lost Isle Calling. So 2 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you scry, put a verse counter on the Lost Isle Calling. You can tap 6, so 4 and 2 blue. Exile Lost Isle Calling. Draw a card for each verse counter on Lost Isle Calling. If it had 7 or more verse counters on it, take an extra turn after this one to activate only as a sorcery. So that is actually a very, art-wise, I think that looks fantastic. I think it's a really cool card. 6 mana is a lot to pay, but if you are using the elves from this new set and you're scrying all the time, and you're getting, plenty of counters on there, I think you can get that extra turn pretty quickly, so it really might be worth paying the 6. You draw all the cards, you take an extra turn, depending on, if you have Reliquary Tower or whatever other cards you have, access to that are going to give you unlimited hand size. Drawing all those cards isn't necessarily going to matter. You can carry them over into your next turn without having to discard. I think it's pretty good, pretty interesting card. So, interested to see if I can find some place to fit that in. We do get a Call of the Ring in our next pack. Enchantment, 2 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. We get a back-to-back Call of the Ring. Merry, Warden of Isengard. So you can partner with Pippin, Warden of Isengard. It's a 1/4. Whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. This ability triggers only once each turn. We do get a Weathertop, which is a deserted temple. So that's one of those Realms and Relics. It's a land that you can tap to add 1 colorless, or tap 1, tap it to untap target land. Lobelia, Sackville Baggins, Legolas, Counter of Kills, and Spiteful Banditry. So 2 red and X. When Spiteful Banditry enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to each creature. And whenever 1 or more creatures your opponents control die, you create a treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. So, interesting card. Obviously, as an enchantment, it's going to stick around for that second ability. When you cast it, you can kill creatures to automatically trigger that second ability. When, you drop it for, 5 for X and wipe the board. Definitely not a bad card. Definitely worth earning a spot in probably many decks. Alright, last pack here. So we are going to start with Merry, Esquire of Rohan, a Radagast the Brown in that extended art, Grey Host Reinforcement, which is a flying Ward 3 Spirit Soldier. Is a 1/1. When Grey Host Reinforcements enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Grey Host Reinforcements equal to the number of creatures exiled this way. So that's interesting, and some good graveyard hate. Sauron the Necromancer, Gollum, and a Saruman the White Hand, which is also in that precon, but 4 mana for a 2/5 Avatar Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass Orcs X, where X is that spell's mana value. Goblins and Orcs you control have Ward 2. So that's a pretty good card too. Definitely some interesting ones in here. Lost Isle Calling seems like a very interesting card. Always happy to see the Nazgul. Galadriel's pretty good. Spiteful Banditry seems like a very good card. Weathertop for a Relics and Realms card. Overall, I think this was a pretty interesting, pretty good pack opening. Couple good packs in here. And that is going to do it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you next time.